Hi, everybody.
Hi there.
Well, it's Ed with Over the Hills 2019 and Sandy. And this little video that we've made is a very interesting place, Fort Churchill, which is along the Carson River, close to the Carson River in Nevada. It's dry camping, and what I loved most about it, the place, is because it's along the Carson River. It's maybe 500, 700 yards away from the river. So the river, you can see floods from time to time. And so there's trees, a meadow, deer, nice little path to go to the river. And then you have the camp park itself, with nice trees, plenty of shade. And then you go up just a little bit in elevation, bang, desert. It just is within the space of maybe 500, 700 yards.
Yeah.
So it's just something.
It's literally an oasis in the middle of the desert.
Yeah. And we enjoy it. We've been there several times. Last time we had a little bit of trouble, but
yeah.
We had a flat tire.
Which isn't unusual. But not your standard flat tire. It had an interesting little twist to it.
Well, I carry a floor jack for such an emergency, but I had it tipped on its side the way I had it stored, and it didn't have enough jack oil in it to do anything. So we had to run and fetch hydraulic fluid for the floor jack, and filled it, and then we got about our business, and we had to order the tire and those things. But now I probably have a lifetime supply of floor jack hydraulic oil. I mean, because it just took a squirt. So
they don't sell it in little bottles, apparently.
I'm thinking of paring that down and maybe donating the main bottle to the RV park we're working at, and I'll take just enough with me to cover the floor jack. But anyway, I hope you enjoy it. And did you have anything you wanted to add, Sandy?
Not so much.
Not so much. Well, it's a very interesting place, and if you're ever out that way, you should check it out. You'll really enjoy it. So here we go. Everybody, take care. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We have other videos if this is the first one you've tripped across. And thank you, everybody, for all your wonderful comments and all the friends we've made. We really appreciate y'all. You all are special. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Leaving Beatty, Nevada, we head north on Highway 95. Just south of Goldfield, you'll start seeing a lot of Joshua trees. Passing through the town of Goldfield, another old mining town, and which still has a small population today. Here they have a few old buildings, the courthouse, and a hotel, and a glass bottle house. Next is Tonopah, which was built in a pass at 6,047 feet in elevation. On the north side of Tonopah, you can see the eastern Sierra Nevada mountains, which is in most months are snow-covered, as they were in April when we passed through. Next, we come into Hawthorne, which is the site of an Army ammunitions depot. And then we see Walker Lake. After passing through Urington, we see this very unique ranch house, built mainly from cement and bricks.
Channel, you want to go for a walk to the river? You want to go for a walk to the river?
There he goes.
You having fun? You having fun? So guys, we are dealing with these incredible, there's swarms of these bugs, and they're like little fleas. They don't bite you, they don't hurt you, but they go up every orifice you can imagine.
Fort Churchill is a Nevada state park, and it has a dry camping campground, a group camping area, a picnic area, and a dispersed camping area, along with the ruins of a Civil War era fort and a small museum. There are also several hiking trails. They make the cottonwood trees really big here. Let's tour the fort first. Back in May of 1860, 3 white men living at Williams Station kidnapped and held prisoner 2 Indian girls. Their action and refusal to release the girls led to reprisals by the Indians, who killed the 3 men, released the girls, and burned the station. Rumors magnified both the number of whites killed and the number of Paiutes thought ready to move against white settlements. Hasty and ill-conceived plans resulted in the movement of 105 volunteers to Pyramid Lake to avenge the deaths of the white men. In the battle that ensued, the outnumbered whites suffered a major defeat. They lost 2/3 of their original force. The Indians' decisive victory led to an immediate white retaliation. Urgent calls went out to California for regular army troops. The troops, bolstered by additional volunteers, moved against the Indian forces in early June. In this second battle, the outnumbered Indians were forced to retreat, and casualty reports ranged from 4 to 160 Indians killed, while only 2 whites died. And it was because of all this that they wanted to have this fort built at Fort Churchill. The museum has some really good information about the life of the fort. The fort cemetery still exists, even though the remains of the soldiers buried here had been moved to Carson City back in 1884. The only graves that remain are those of the Buckland family, who lived nearby and who had purchased the fort when it had been decommissioned. Such a happy boy. Next, we toured Buckland Station. Samuel Buckland settled the valley in 1859 and began ranching. His early establishment served as an important way station for pioneer travelers on the overland route. It was one of the earliest ranches in the area, supplying immigrants, ranchers, travelers, and soldiers at Fort Churchill. The Overland Stage Company kept horses at the station, and the Pony Express stopped here for a change of mounts. As Fort Churchill was dismantled, Mr. Buckland salvaged materials from the fort buildings to build the two-story house seen today. The Buckland family lived in the house and rented rooms to travelers. Silly boy. Doesn't this look like an owl? There's also some information near the fort about the California Immigrant Trail. The California Trail pretty closely matches where Interstate 80 is now. And near this point, you're looking west at range upon range of mountains as far as you can see. It hardly seems possible that by following the Carson River, you'll go right through these mountain ranges and have fairly level traveling with only a gradual climb all the way to the foot of the final obstacle, the Sierra Nevada Mountains. By the time immigrants arrived at this point along the California Trail, they had spent the past month following the Humboldt River more than 400 miles across the Great Basin. On that part of the journey, immigrants had seen many mountain ranges, but they were far apart with wide valleys in between them. Fortunately for the California-bound travelers, there was fairly good grass as they traveled west along the Carson River. The biggest concern they faced was the physical condition of their wagons, their animals, and most of all themselves. In the week prior to arriving at this point on the California Trail, people had suffered through the ultimate survivor experience, crossing the 40-mile desert. That crossing had exacted a huge toll on the men, women, and children making their way west, but their goal was almost in sight.
So the tire minder made us aware that this back tire has some kind of problem with it. Just will not hold air. So we've got a problem. We got to change that tire. We got one ordered and we're going to get put on today. But this morning I go to jack it up and get it off, and our jack is out of hydraulic fluid. So we're running to go get that now.
Just as we started working on the tires, our friend Scott from Quartzsite pulled in to spend the night. We had recommended this campground to him.
Okay. Got the jack working again, got hydraulic fluid in there and all the air bubbles out, got it purged and working, got the tire off, and I put the spare on, which is not much of a spare. I don't want anything stupid happening like the axle slips off the jack, so there's something there anyway. And I now have a lifetime supply of hydraulic jack fluid. Woohoo! Very dirty, I know, but the thing needs a bath. But okay, this is the hub on our new axle. This is a rubber dust cover, and behind there is a Zerk fitting, so we can lube the axles, the bearings in the axles. Great idea. But there's these decorative covers that go over behind the wheel, and so you have to take the wheel off to access this. Not really good. So on the other side of the trailer, there's these two wheels with that decorative center cover in place. Well, as long as I got the jack out and it's working, and I'm already dirty, I think I'm going to drag it over here and take these wheels off, pull those covers out. Again, form follows function for me. So here we go. Okay, got the decorative caps off, everything secured there, tires pumped up, spare back in place, which is a piece of junk, and we will replace it later, but today was not a 2-tire purchase day. And everything good on this side, so we are good to go.
We hope you enjoyed this tour of Fort Churchill State Park in Nevada. See you next time.